Hey y'all, today we're going to be discussing lots and lots of questions about converting a shed to a house. And one thing that I always get asked, was this crazy shed to house adventure worth it? We're going to talk about that now. So we got 1 egg this morning and then 5 the afternoon. So we're averaging like 6 eggs. That's really good. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna just take you guys on a little walk. I think this is gonna be cool, and I might do this more consistently, which is one reason why we wanted to do 30 videos in 30 days, was to kind of throw a whole bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Mercy, come. Chip, come. So Kelly and the kids are in Austin for the night, and I am alone with just me and the dogs and all the farm animals, but it's really just me and the dogs. But I wanted to go over really some cool stuff about shed to house. So let's just do it. We're gonna jump on in. All right, so of course the most asked burning question of how much does it cost? You guys, there's no way of being able to tell you how much converting a shed to house costs. I mean, we've seen some people do it as little as around $50 a square foot. And then some people that do it upwards of $80 to $100 a square foot, which is a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, we are up there at the higher end because we just wanted it to be what we wanted it to be, and we're allowed to live however we want. If you want to have the full breakdown, go to bettertogetherlife.com/report, and you can get all of our finances that we have. It's not up to date fully, but I actually don't even want it to put it up to date, because there in that report you're able to get all of the bare bones, the things that everybody's going to have to do. Then it's going to be up to you of how you want to finish it out. And that's really where you get to put your stamp. But in terms of doing insulation, spray foam, plumbing, all that stuff, it's going to be somewhat similar to that. So if you want to know more of the costs, go to bettertogetherlife.com/report. Gross. Chip went into the pond. Our pond is nasty because there's no ecology or anything in it. Another thing that people ask us all the time is, how can I legally do this in my county, state, whatever kind of municipality? How can I do this? Well, I have a video on that. I'll put it up here. And with that, I kind of just talk about what you want to be able to find is land in a county that has 0 building restrictions, and it has 0 restrictions for that land that you want. You can do anything you want. Then that property is best to be outside of city limits. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want to adhere to building codes. You should do things that are technically up to code, because that is roughly, it's good things in terms of safety. It's good. But what it'll do, it will allow you a lot more leeway in terms of living in a small space. So unfortunately, I can't explain everything about how you do this legally. I would never recommend someone to do it illegally, but the best way is to get outside of city limits and in a county that doesn't have any restrictions, building codes. That's what we are. All right, so this question came from Josh at Ganderflight. I was actually asking our Shed to House Facebook group some questions about what they would want to know of me trying to get on Jack Spirko's The Survival Podcast. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to be on his show January 22nd. woohoo, I'm super stoked. I've always wanted to, and just finally getting the space and the time to be able to do that. So I'm excited about that. So if you listen to the Survival Podcast, don't skip that interview. Come on, y'all. And if you don't listen to him, definitely go check it out. It's, in my opinion, it's the best podcast on all homesteading, survivalism, prepping, everything. Jack is just the best. But the question that Josh over at Ganderfly asked is, how has this affected my relationship with our 4 kids and Kelly, my wife? I wish that, I wish I could be able to get them in a space that they would be able to answer it. Because the answer that I would say is it's been amazing. There's nothing better than what this has been able to do for us. Unfortunately, less often with these 30 videos in 30 days, so that's a bad thing. I would say that the 30 videos in 30 days have kind of taken a hit on our relationship more, and so I'm excited we're coming to the end of this. But living here has done so much for my kids. Everett has gotten so much confidence living here. Everett in suburbia, he was afraid of any kind of dog, any kind of animal. He did not want anything to do with any animals. And now he goes and he gets chicken eggs. He goes and he'll feed the rabbits. He works with Chip, the huge 100-pound Rottweiler, who's like a horse that lives in our house. He commands him. He tells Chip what to do. Chip submits to him. And that just has given Everett so much confidence. It's just awesome. And for Ollie, like Ollie and I's relationship has always been so great. He's going to become the farmer that I never knew that I wanted to be. Because I don't think I'll ever be as good as the farmer that Ollie, I believe, will be. Ollie's already said that he wants to buy this property from us. The kid is 7 years old. He's already talking about buying our house, our shed house, and about living on this property whenever we die. I was like, well, maybe we can figure out something to do. I'd like to buy that hayfield. That would be cool. And then he can have this property. And with Kelly, I mean, it's not easy. I'm not going to lie. Living in a small space, living here doing all the work that we have to do here on the property, and we're not even anywhere close of how we want this property to be aesthetically or functionally. Like, we want so much more. But when the kids are asleep and we're in our little space and we're able to just sit down and watch a movie and eat some pie with a glass of milk, our marriage has never been better. It really hasn't. It really has never been better. It's so cool to have this with Kelly and I. And we don't know how long we're going to do this. We're loving every single moment. And when the kids go to my parents' house back in suburbia and they stay there for a few days and then they come back, you can just feel how they're able just to run and they're able to breathe and climb. And then whenever I looked at them, and then Ollie just says, Dad, I love our home. And coming back to, is it worth it? Is living in a shed to house, a super small space with 6 people? Yes. Nothing in my life has been more worth it. Now, I will say this. Is it for everyone? No, of course, it is not for everyone. Living this life, no, it is not for everyone. But if you've ever thought about it, is it for you? Totally. Is living in a shed to house conversion for everyone? No. I mean, even if you just thought about homesteading, should you do this? No. And Kelly's always the one that will say, like, it's not for everyone. And my only response to that is, if you're watching this channel, then it's for you. if you're watching this channel and you're not just Kelly or I's parents watching this so that you can see your grandkids, then yes, homesteading, buying land is worth it. It is creating a legacy. It is some legacy stuff, y'all, of having land. Kelly always talks about how she loves cast iron skillets. And we have one very special cast iron skillet that we cook 99% of our meals on. Well, let me say this. We cook all of our meals on it when it's available. But this cast iron skillet came from my grandmother. I don't know where it came from with her. I wish I would have known that. That would have been a cool story to find out how she got it. But what Kelly always tells our kids, and probably Ollie, just because he's so connected to the land and everything like this. But Kelly tells them, whenever we die, that someone's getting this skillet because it belonged to grandmom. And then we took it and gave it life again. And we used it every single day. That Ollie woke up every morning, went to go and take care of the chickens, to feed them, to water them. Then he went and harvested their eggs. And then he brought them in, washed them off, and he and I made him eggs, scrambled, or runny yolk on a slice of sourdough bread. You guys, that's what owning land is. It is. I really hate how, like, you know, there's one thing I don't like about Dave Ramsey is that he always says that there's always dirt. Don't make stupid financial decisions to buy a piece of property. But if you have family land, honestly, I think that giving away that legacy of passing on that piece of property to a person in your family that will love it and respect it and take care of it, I think that is way more important than just leaving it in your will to subdivide. If Kelly and I decide to stay on this piece of property forever, I would rather give this land to a niece or a nephew that I know loves it and I know will take care of it than I do giving it to my kids if they don't. I don't think that that's going to happen because Oliver is like going to fight anybody to be able to take this property. But Everett might be want to live here too. I think it's just something so cool. I'm sorry, I went down a rant. This is why I kind of think that this could be cool. Is Walks with Bo just gets me blabbing and talking and thinking. So to wrap this up, let me know if you enjoyed this. Walks with Bo and being able to just ask any questions. I need some questions from you. This was just a little bit of questions from anybody. But let me know any questions in terms of creating a side hustle, questions on raising rabbits, questions on like what our plans are for pigs and chickens and things like that. So let me know down below and I'll do another one of these. And if people like it, then awesome. I love it. We're almost done with 30 videos in 30 days. I don't know what you're gonna do whenever it's over. I know I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. I know I'm gonna watch some shows with Kelly and just relax for a while. But more than anything, I'm excited because I've gotten into the habit of doing a video every day. It's good. All right, we will see you tomorrow. I think we got like 2 or 3 left. Maybe it's 2. Man. Chip, what is that? Oh my, no, drop it. Leave it. Drop, no, off. Dude, what is this? Holy cow, what is that, man? No, leave it. Oh, that's a squirrel. I have not seen any squirrels out here. Dude. Hey, check this out. This is kind of random. Remember whenever I did all that mowing last week? Look at this green. So this is exactly what Pete was saying. So what Pete was saying is that when these native Texas bunch grass starts growing really high, everything in the middle just dies because it can't get any sunlight. But when you cut it, look at this green coming. And there's little green blades of grass. Like, look at this. We haven't seen any green at all. All we had to do is just mow it, and the green started coming. It's tough to see because of the sun is so bright, but there are just little blades of green grass coming everywhere. All right, look at this. Can you see this? How awesome is this? That is so rad. That feels good. Okay, that's a win there. That's a payday. That is a payday for sure. Look at all this little green patches of grass. That's awesome.